geologic inspections. As discussed in earlier sections, buyers often rely on inspections to evaluate potential risks associated with a property. One specialized inspection that may be recommended in certain situations is a geologic inspection. These inspections focus on the natural conditions of the land and surrounding environment that could impact the safety or stability of a structure. Depending on the property's history, the geological characteristics of the surrounding region, or recommendations made by a general home inspector, a geologic inspection may be necessary. This type of inspection may identify potential hazards such as earthquake faults, landslide risks, or unstable soil conditions that exist on or near the property. In-depth geologic inspections may also evaluate soil quality and investigate possible environmental contamination that could affect the property. For example, contamination may occur from underground storage tanks or other environmental releases that occurred on or near the property in the past. A geologic inspection is typically performed by a geotechnical engineer, a professional trained in evaluating soil stability, geological conditions, and ground movement risks. The process often involves both a physical inspection of the property and research into historical geological activity in the surrounding area. The primary purpose of a geologic inspection is to determine the stability of the ground beneath and around the property. Understanding the ground conditions helps determine whether the land is suitable for construction or whether additional engineering solutions may be necessary. In most real estate transactions, the buyer typically pays for geologic inspections during the due diligence period. However, as with most inspection costs, the responsibility for payment may be negotiated between the buyer and seller as part of the purchase contract. Heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Another common category of inspection focuses on the major mechanical systems within a property. These systems include heating systems, air conditioning units, and plumbing systems, which play a critical role in the comfort and functionality of a home. In many transactions, buyers rely on the general home inspection to provide an overview of these systems. However, if concerns arise regarding the operation or condition of these systems, buyers may choose to hire specialists to conduct additional inspections. Buyers are generally less likely to request specialized inspections of heating, air conditioning, or plumbing systems unless there are visible signs that something is not functioning correctly. If an inspection reveals that a system is inoperable or defective, the findings may lead to repair negotiations between the buyer and seller. Typically, the buyer pays for the inspection itself, while the seller may agree to pay for necessary repairs to restore the system to proper operating condition. These repair responsibilities are often addressed during the inspection response process within the real estate contract. Land survey inspection. A land survey inspection may be necessary when questions arise regarding the location of property boundaries or when the boundaries of a property are unclear or disputed. Survey inspections are particularly important when property lines may affect planned construction, fencing, or improvements near the boundary of the property. In some cases, lending institutions may also require a land survey as part of the loan approval process. There are several common situations where a land survey inspection may be recommended or required. For example, surveys may be conducted before land is subdivided into separate parcels by deed or subdivision. A land survey may also be necessary before constructing improvements such as houses, fences, septic systems, or other structures located near property boundaries. In these situations, accurate boundary identification helps ensure that improvements do not accidentally cross onto neighboring properties. Survey inspections may also be used for drainage planning, topographical evaluations, and identifying subsurface utilities that may affect construction or land development. Lenders may also require survey inspections before approving certain mortgage loans. Additionally, surveys may be requested when purchasing or selling land, when purchasing title insurance, or when required by local authorities prior to issuing building permits. Land surveys may also be conducted when property line locations are uncertain or when an encroachment, a structure extending onto a neighboring property, is suspected. Upon completion of the land survey inspection, the surveyor typically provides a drawing or map of the property that identifies property boundaries and the location of improvements. The drawing will often indicate property corners found or set, occupation lines, easements, and any encroachments that cross property boundaries. Pool, spa inspection. If a property includes a swimming pool or spa, buyers may choose to have these systems inspected to determine their current condition and operational efficiency. A pool and spa inspection evaluates the accessible components of the system to determine whether the equipment is functioning properly and whether any repairs or maintenance may be required. Pool inspections are typically conducted in multiple stages to ensure that both safety and operational components are properly evaluated. The first stage of the inspection focuses on placement and protection. During this step, the inspector examines safety features surrounding the pool area. This may include evaluating the condition of pool fencing, gates, and screen enclosures designed to prevent accidental entry. The inspector may also evaluate the proximity of electrical wiring, electrical outlets, and other fixtures located near the pool area to ensure compliance with safety standards and reduce the risk of electrical hazards. The second stage of the inspection involves examining the vessel and coping of the pool. The vessel refers to the structural basin of the pool itself, while coping refers to the material or structure that surrounds the upper edge of the pool. During this stage, inspectors evaluate the condition of the pool surfaces and surrounding deck areas. They may look for cracking, discoloration, pitting, or other signs of deterioration caused by environmental exposure and long-term use. Inspectors may also evaluate the condition of open joints, drains, and surrounding surfaces to identify structural wear that could require repair or maintenance. The third stage of the inspection involves reviewing equipment and equipment operation. This step focuses on evaluating the functionality of the various mechanical systems associated with the pool or spa. Components typically inspected during this phase may include controls, disconnect switches, filters, heaters, lighting systems, piping, pumps, skimmers, and timing systems used to regulate operation. Once the inspection is completed, the inspector generally prepares a written report summarizing the findings. This report typically identifies components that require repair or maintenance and may also provide recommendations for ongoing system maintenance. Providing this report helps ensure that the new property owner understands how to properly maintain the pool or spa system after closing. Structural inspection. In addition to general home inspections, buyers may also request a structural inspection when concerns exist regarding the structural integrity of the property. Structural inspectors evaluate the major structural components that support the building. Their goal is to determine whether the structure is stable and whether any structural defects are present. Structural inspections typically evaluate components such as ceilings, columns or piers, floors, roofs, foundations, and walls. The inspector examines these structural elements to determine whether they show signs of movement, deterioration, settlement, or structural failure. If structural problems are identified, the inspector will usually provide a written report describing the condition of the structure and recommending possible repairs or engineering solutions. Structural inspections provide valuable information for buyers who want to ensure that the property they are purchasing is structurally sound and safe for occupancy. Online discussion. Why might a geologic inspection be recommended during a real estate transaction? Answer. A geologic inspection may be recommended to evaluate soil stability, landslide risks, earthquake faults, or other geological conditions that could affect the safety or stability of the property. Why are land surveys important when property boundaries are unclear? Answer. Land surveys identify property boundaries, easements, and potential encroachments, helping prevent disputes and ensuring that improvements are placed within the correct property lines. Why might a buyer request a pool or spa inspection? Answer. Buyers may request a pool or spa inspection to evaluate the safety, structural condition, and operational functionality of the pool equipment and surrounding structures.